I would love to. This is a sincere. Let's gas Caroline up as much as possible. Any 75-year-old doing anything, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I watched 80 for Brady the other night. I hate Joe Biden, and not because I'm like a Republican or anything. It's just like something about him just sucks. And then I realized I'm just being ageist. Yeah, because I watched 80 for Brady. I'm like, oh, this is what's going on in his mind.
What's 80 for Brady?
The movie about the 4 80-year-old women that want to fuck Tom Brady, and then one of them thinks she has cancer. So she's like, well, I have to spend all of our money to go see the Super Bowl.
Wait, is it real or is it fake?
It's based on a true story about 4 women who are over 80 that watch the Patriots, but they didn't fucking ever go to the Super Bowl. It was like a local news story about like, look at these old ass women watching the TV, and they're like, they love the Patriots.
And they made a feature.
They had a group called Over 80 for Brady, and then Tom Brady, when he was going to retire, he produced this movie. I don't know if he was the one that optioned it and turned it into a screenplay, but it came out like 2 years ago. Pete,
Tom Brady produced his own movie about old people wanting to fuck him?
Yes.
That's insane.
Well, it was funny. I was watching it. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she was completely unreceptive to this argument. Sometimes I forget that I'm not podcasting when I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
But it's like, just imagine a movie called Horny for Taylor, and it's 4 85-year-old men that are like, we only have one chance left to get pussy off Taylor Swift. And they all sit around watching Taylor Swift, and they're
jerking off.
They're like, look how good her titties look.
Oh,
and it's supposed to be heartwarming. Imagine that.
It's heartwarming?
It's heartwarming. I mean, I teared up.
No, you did not.
No, I did, yeah.
At what part?
Dude, I feel like the gum surgery broke the dam has been like loosened, because I hadn't cried since Fast and Furious 6. That was like 10 years ago.
What is going on, Fast and Furious 6?
Well, Paul Walker died in real life, and at the end of the movie, it's like, I swear if I see you again. The song's playing, and they're driving, and then the cars go different ways. And like Vin Diesel drives into the next movie, and Paul Walker drives to heaven. And they put his face on, they like photoshopped his face on like a different guy. It's like not even, it's like, goodbye, dude.
And you're just sobbing for the first time in 20 years.
I cried in the theater but I was like 25 at the time, and I hadn't cried. And I had like family members die, friends die, and I tried. I would and it wouldn't happen. And then just that week with the gum surgery and stuff, because it was like I feel like.
And 80-year-olds being like, we're gonna go gang bang.
Well, I feel like I've been backed up, because what happened, I think, when I was 26, things started to change. Things started to take off, and then because my perspective at the time is I'd been in comedy for 10 years, and I did the things you're supposed to do. And when I moved to New York, feeling like I already failed at comedy. I kind of just wanted to live in New York. And then like there would be little things here and there, but like when Come Town started to take off, I like tensed up, because it's like, okay, I got to hold on to this.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think that, and then, other things like becoming a public figure, that's weird. And then you just, like, I feel like I became, like, very emotionally reserved. And then, just having, like, the week off and getting the gum surgery was, like, the first time because I haven't had a physical in a decade. I hadn't got my teeth cleaned in, like, 4 years.
I think it's that you have a girlfriend that you like who's cool.
Well, somebody that, to, just be vulnerable, and then somebody, because, I mean, I've been in other relationships. I mean, certainly, having support, I guess.
I did not think I was going to like her, and then she walked up to me, and I took a bite of a tiny mini candy, and I was eating it, and she was looking at it like this, and I was like, do you want the other half? And she was like, yeah, can I? And I was like, 100%. And I was like, okay, I'm all in on this girl. She rules.
But anyways, I did tear up at the part in 80 for Brady where you think that Lily Tomlin has cancer, but this is the bullshit. First of all, fuck this movie. It's funny, whatever. I don't want to shit on it too hard, because it is good as a movie.
Nobody is going to come after you for shitting on it. Nobody will see it.
I don't know who wrote it. Morally, it could be a friend. I don't know.
Tom Brady, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, but morally, it's these creepy old women that want to fuck somebody a quarter of their age. Yeah. Tom Brady is basically a child.
Yeah.
And if we're all things equal, Tom Brady as 38? what do you got to be? Something like that.
40.
40 years
Yeah.
old. Okay, then you think that's an adult, but these women are 80, right?
Right.
So they're basically Subway Jared in this
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the movie, I mean, it is a comedy, but like all that's happening the entire time is they go to the Super Bowl and they're surprising everyone because they're just better at everything than everyone. Like one of them is like, oh, she eats edibles and then winds up in a poker game with Patton Oswalt and
What?
yeah,
I've
and
never
Guy
heard-
Fieri and stuff. And she's in this poker game and she's just like, oh, she's beat. They don't think she's gonna win, but she's beating all of them at poker. She's the best at poker. And then there's a game where you throw a football and the other old lady is like beating this like athletic, young man. And then there's a hot wings eating contest and Sally Field is, oh, she's eating the hot wings. Nobody else can eat the hot wings except her. It's just like,
Sally Field, isn't it?
yeah.
This is devastating.
So it's the same idea over and over again. It's like people are going to oh, this 80-year-old woman can't do anything. It's like, oh, she's the best at the monster truck rally that we have. She's the best. And then eventually they go into the, I guess like the coordinator's box or whatever, and then they're like calling the plays themselves, and they're the reason that they won the Super Bowl in 2017. Is the Patriots?
and one of
won.
them has cancer, but she doesn't really.
She doesn't even have cancer. That's the premise of the movie. Is like they're like it starts off. First of all, it's like the first 15, like the whole first act occurs in just a living room.
Okay.
And they keep jumping back and forth in time because they were like, let's just bang this all out in one day.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll do a couple of costume changes. But so they're sitting there, and it starts off. They're already watching the Patriots, and it's like, how did this start? And it was like, it was 10 years ago. I was finishing up my chemotherapy, and the TV got stuck, and they couldn't like change the channel. The remote stopped working. And they're like, oh, football, turn it off. We need to watch a woman getting murdered.
Yeah.
Like whatever they needed to see. And then Tom Brady comes on the TV and they're like, let's suck his penis. And then they're just lusting after him. And then they get into football from the lusting,
Okay.
And then so this is 10 years later. And then they're watching it, and then there's like a contest to win tickets to the Super Bowl, and like Lily Tomlin plays the one who had cancer. She's like, "What if we went to the Super Bowl?" And then she buys tickets, and then there's a contest, but she buys the tickets and tells her friends she won the tickets. Unbeknownst to them, she's gotten more like more medical screening, and she got a letter from the oncology center.
I'm like enthralled. I'm like,
yeah.
and then what?
She got a letter from the oncology center, and they've been trying to call her, but she doesn't want to pick up the phone because it could be bad.
Tom Brady.
It could be bad news.
Oh.
So she won't open the letter from the oncology center. She hasn't told her friends, and so then you kind of get the sense that, they present you with the idea that this woman knows her cancer is returned. She's gonna die. She can't go through the chemo again. She just wants to take her friends out for one kind of last hurrah, memorable experience. That's very sweet. But then you watch all this, and then eventually they're like, "Why wouldn't you just open the letter?" She's like, "I'm worried it'd be something bad, and I don't know." And they're like, and at this point they've lost the tickets, and they got to find the tickets again. And then they finally get in, and they're in the skybox, and then they're the reason that they win the Super Bowl. And then at the end, it's like, oh, and she doesn't even have cancer. And it's like, well, no, now you have to die. Because,
you fucked a kid.
Even cancer aside, you're 85 years old. You've already gotten
It's
more.
time to die. You have to die.
You've
I'm not
already
watching a movie about old people.
More than most people. Does
Does one of them die? One of them dies.
None of them die. Sally Field, her character is married. Her character is married to Bob Balaban in the movie. And then they're like, oh, look how boring Bob Balaban is. Meanwhile, she's 75 years old. It's like...
Likely her husband would be dead.
Yeah, well, because he's like, can you give me notes on my paper that I wrote or whatever? He wants notes, and she's like, I don't have time for this,
Meanwhile, her husband is a fully functioning 80-year-old
Yeah,
just writing books.
Right, so she won't give him notes in the book. She goes, and then she's trying to cheat on him.
With Tom Brady?
No, it's kind of like she wants to get better at flirting, I guess. It's a way to get this joke in there about negging or something. I don't know. At a certain point, something happened. Either someone called or I had diarrhea. But I left. I went to the bathroom and I missed a chunk of it. But they're in the Uber ride, and she's like, I never got a chance to flirt. And then she tries hitting on the Uber driver. She's like, oh, you have a nice head. She says that to him.
You have a nice head. Imagine if you tried to do this with me with the movie Face Off.
What described the movie Face Off?
Verbatim.
Well, Face Off is a masterpiece.
It really is.
Yeah.
You told me about it and I watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember that. Yeah, I love Face Off. And then I rewatched.
You remember what the joke was that the old lady said in the Uber, but you can't remember.
Conversations I've had.
Oh, I thought you meant you don't remember the movie Face Off.
No, I remember the movie Face Off. I don't remember any podcast I've ever done ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a blur.
But you can picture movies,
of
start
course,
to finish.
Because it's a story. It's not just some stupid fucking conversation I'm forced to have.
Yeah.